Are you lost in life? Do you wake up each morning with a heaviness in your chest, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you even bother to rise? There's a wilderness inside you, a vast, barren stretch where dreams wither and hope fades like a mirage on the horizon. You trudge through your days, punching clocks, stacking papers, hauling burdens, and for what? To collapse at night exhausted only to do it all again tomorrow? I see the weariness in your eyes, the slump of your shoulders, the quiet cry of a soul that whispers, there must be more than this. Work has become your prison, hasn't it? A chain that binds you to a life you never chose, a sentence you never signed up for. You're not alone in that desert. Millions wander there with you, parched for meaning, starving for purpose, their footsteps swallowed by the sands of monotony. Let me ask you, raise your hand if you've ever felt that ache, that gnawing question. Is this all there is? Go ahead, lift it high, because I know I'm not speaking to an empty room. That's it, I see you. You're honest enough to admit it. You've tasted the dust of that wilderness, haven't you? The endless cycle of labor that grinds your spirit down to nothing. You've sat at your desk or stood at your post or driven that same weary road and thought, I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going, and I don't even know why I'm here. It's a cry as old as time itself, a groan that echoes through the ages. The farmer who tills the same soil year after year, the merchant who counts his coins in the dark, the mother who washes the same dishes night after night. They've all felt it. That shadow falls across every heart at some point, and it's falling across yours right now. But hear me. Don't turn away. Don't let your mind drift, because I'm not here to leave you in that wasteland. That wilderness is real, yes, but it's not your home. You weren't born to wander aimlessly, to stumble through life with no direction, no fire, no reason to lift your head. Work wasn't meant to be your master, cracking a whip over your back until you break. No, there's a voice calling through that desert, a wind stirring the sands, a promise breaking through the silence. You feel lost because you've forgotten something, or maybe you've never known it. You've forgotten that you were made for more than survival, more than scraping by, more than filling hours with noise and sweat. You were crafted with purpose, shaped by hands greater than your own, set on this earth to do something that matters. Look around you. The world is a mess of chaos and clamor, isn't it? Men and women rush from task to task, chasing shadows, building towers that crumble before the mortar dries. They've bought the lie that work is a curse, a punishment to endure, a burden to bear until the grave claims them. And maybe you've bought it too. Maybe you've swallowed that bitter pill and let it poison your soul. You clock in, you clock out, you grit your teeth and tell yourself, this is just how it is. But what if it isn't? What if that wilderness isn't your destiny? What if the dryness in your spirit is a sign not of defeat, but of a thirst that's about to be quenched? Think about it. Why does your heart rebel against the emptiness? Why does your soul ache when the days blur into nothing? Because deep down you know there's a path you've missed, a well you haven't found, a light you haven't seen. That restlessness isn't a flaw, it's a signal. It's the spark of something eternal, something unquenchable, something that refuses to let you settle for a life of dust and despair. You're not lost because you're weak. You're lost because you're searching, and you won't stop until you find what you were made for. That's the truth beating in your chest right now, even if you can't name it yet. Let's go back, way back to the beginning. Man was placed in a garden, not a wasteland. He was given work not as a shackle, but as a gift. He named the creatures, tilled the soil, walked with purpose under an open sky. That was no curse. That was glory. But then came the fall, the fracture, the exile into the thorns and thistles. And ever since we've carried that weight, haven't we? The sweat of our brow, the ache in our bones, the sense that something's broken. You feel it every Monday morning, every late shift, every time you wonder if your labor means anything at all. The wilderness crept in, and it's been swallowing souls ever since. But don't miss this. Exile wasn't the end of the story. The garden was lost, but the promise wasn't. Through the centuries, through the dust and the struggle, a voice kept calling. To the shepherd in the fields, to the fisherman at his nets, to the carpenter at his bench, it said, lift your eyes, there's more. And that voice is calling you now. You're not a slave to your paycheck, your boss, your fatigue. You're not a cog in a machine that spins for no reason. You're a soul caught in a wilderness, yes, but it's a wilderness with a road running through it. A road that leads somewhere if you'll dare to walk it. What's holding you back? Fear? Shame? The lie that you're too small, too broken, too far gone. I've seen men and women with calloused hands and weary hearts stand up from that dust and say, no more. I've watched them shake off the chains of meaninglessness and step into something greater. And you can too. You're not here by accident. That job you hate, that task you dread, that life you're living, it's not the whole picture. It's a thread in a tapestry you can't yet see, a note in a song you haven't yet heard. But you will hear it if you listen. Raise your hand again. Go on, do it. If you're tired of wandering, I see you. That's the first step, admitting you're lost. Not to wallow in it, but to turn from it. The wilderness is loud with its lies, shouting that you're nothing, that your work is nothing, that your life is nothing. But there's another sound rising, faint at first, like water bubbling up through cracked ground. It's the sound of truth, of hope, of a purpose that's been there all along, waiting for you to claim it. You're not meant to stay lost. You're meant to find your way, not by your own strength, but by a power that's been at work since the stars were hung in the sky. Feel that stirring. That's not just your imagination. That's the beginning of something new. The desert isn't your home. It's your testing ground. And the test is this: will you keep wandering, or will you lift your head and look for the path? Because there is a path, and it's not hidden from you. It's been laid out by hands that shape the mountains, by a mind that knows every hair on your head. Your work, your life, your very breath, they're not random. They're part of a design so vast, it'll take your breath away when you see it. So stand with me now, not in body maybe, but in spirit. Stand and say, I'm done with the wilderness. Say it out loud if you can. I'm done, because you are. The days of drifting are over. The nights of wandering are finished. You're not a wanderer anymore. You're a seeker, and what you seek is closer than you think. The wilderness has taught you something. It's shown you what you don't want, and it's awakened a hunger for what you do. Hold on to that hunger. Cling to it like a lifeline, because it's about to lead you out of the sand and into the stream. You see, the truth about work isn't that it's a burden to escape, it's that it's a calling to answer. And that calling starts here, in the dry places, where you learn to hear the voice that says, come up higher. You've been lost, yes, but you're not forsaken. You've been weary, but you're not defeated. The wilderness is just the first chapter, and the next one is about to begin. Are you ready to turn the page? Are you ready to see work? Not as a chain, but as a key, because that's what's coming if you'll take the next step with me. You've taken that step out of the wilderness, haven't you? You've said, I'm done wandering, and now your feet are on the path, your eyes straining for what lies ahead. But the question burns in your soul. Where is this leading? What's the point of all this toil, this sweat, this endless march through the hours? You're not lost anymore, but you're still searching. And that's good, because the answer is breaking through the haze, like the first light of dawn. Work isn't your enemy. It's not a curse to endure or a weight to shrug off. No, work is a gift, a holy thread woven into the very fabric of your being, a blueprint drawn by the hands that shape the heavens and the earth. You were made to labor, not as a slave, but as a son, a daughter, a steward of something greater than yourself. Let's settle this right now. Raise your hand if you've ever thought work was a punishment, a necessary evil to pay the bills and survive. Go ahead, be honest, I see you. That's what the world has taught you, isn't it? That labor is the price you pay for living, a grind you grit your teeth through until you're free of it. But that's a lie, a shadow cast over the truth. Go back to the beginning, before the thorns, before the sweat, before the fall. Man was set in a garden, and what did he do? He worked, he tilled, he named, he shaped, and it was good, so good that the Creator himself called it so. Work wasn't the curse. The curse was the fracture that twisted it, that made it feel like chains instead of wings. But the blueprint, that's still there, unbroken, waiting for you to claim it. Think about that. You weren't born to stumble through life, scraping by, counting minutes until the whistle blows. You were born to build, to create, to leave a mark that echoes beyond your years. That's what work was meant to be. A partnership with eternity, a reflection of the one who spoke the stars into being. When you hammer a nail, when you sweep a floor, when you teach a child or sow a field, you're not just filling time. You're stepping into a design that's older than the mountains, stronger than the tides. The farmer who plants his seed, the mother who mends a torn shirt, the merchant who balances his books, they're not just working. They're answering a call, echoing a purpose that stretches back to the first sunrise. But you've felt the fracture, haven't you? The thorns that choke the joy out of your labor, the thistles that prick your hands and your heart. You've stood in the heat of the day, wondering if it's worth it, if anyone sees, if it matters. And the world shouts back, no, it's meaningless. Chase ease, chase comfort, chase anything but this. Yet your soul won't let you believe it. Not fully. There's a whisper beneath the noise, a truth that won't be silenced. You feel it when you finish a task well, when you see the fruit of your hands, when something stirs in you and says, this is right. That's the blueprint calling you back, pulling you out of the chaos and into the order you were made for. What is that order? It's this. Your work is worship. Yes, worship. Not a burden, not a chore, but an offering lifted up to the one who gave it to you. Every plow you push, every letter you write, every load you carry, it's a hymn if you'll let it be. The carpenter at his bench, the fisherman hauling his net, the seamstress threading her needle. They're not just earning bread. They're crafting altars, building bridges between the seen and the unseen. You think that's too lofty, too grand for your ordinary days? It's not. The smallest task, done with a heart turned upward, shakes the foundations of heaven. The widow who sweeps her porch with care, the boy who tends his father's flock with diligence. They're not small in the eyes of eternity. Raise your hand again. Do it. If you've ever finished a day's work and felt a spark of pride, a flicker of peace, I see you nodding. That's not pride in yourself alone. That's the echo of the blueprint, the sign that you're brushing against your purpose. Work was never meant to crush you. It was meant to lift you, to shape you, to show you who you are. But here's where the battle rages. Will you see it that way? Will you take that daily grind and turn it into gold? Or will you let it stay dust in your hands? Because the choice is yours, and it's a choice that changes everything. Look at the men and women who've gone before us. The shepherd boy who guarded his sheep through the night, did he know he was training to slay giants? The prisoner who wrote letters from a cell, did he see they'd outlast empires? The fisherman who mended his nets, did he guess he'd one day fish for souls? Their work wasn't just work. It was a proving ground, a furnace where their spirits were forged. And yours is too. That desk you sit at, that field you plow, that home you keep, it's not a prison. It's a battlefield. And the victory isn't in escaping it, but in mastering it. You're not just punching a clock. You're wielding a sword, carving out a legacy with every swing. But the enemy's clever, isn't he? He twists the truth, makes you think your labor's worthless, unless it's loud, unless it's seen, unless it's praised. He points to the rich man's mansion, the ruler's throne, and says that's what matters. And you look at your calloused hands, your modest wages, and you falter. Don't you dare. The blueprint doesn't measure success by gold or glory. It measures it by faithfulness, by the sweat you give to what's in front of you. The widow's 2 coins outweighed the rich man's treasure. The boy's 5 loaves fed thousands. Your work, offered up, outweighs the world's applause every time. So what's your excuse? Tiredness? Fear? The lie that you're not enough? Throw it down. The one who made you didn't stutter when he set you here. He didn't falter when he gave you breath and hands and a mind to use. You're not a mistake, and neither is your work. That job you dread, that task you shrink from, it's not random. It's yours, handed to you by a wisdom you can't fathom yet. And when you take it up, not with grumbling but with grit, you'll find something shift. The weight lightens, the fog clears, the purpose shines through. Let me tell you about a man I met once. A bricklayer, shoulders bent from years of lifting stone. He'd spent decades building walls, churches, homes. And I asked him, don't you ever tire of it? He looked at me, eyes bright as a boy's, and said, tire? No. Every brick I lay is a prayer. Every wall I raise stands longer than I will. That man saw the blueprint. He knew his hands were part of something bigger, something lasting. And you can know it too. Your work isn't fleeting. It's eternal, if you'll give it that weight. Raise your hand one more time. Go on. If you're ready to see your work as more than a paycheck, I see you, and I'm proud of you. That's the turning point. You're not just a laborer anymore. You're a builder, a planter, a warrior in the quiet fight of daily duty. But it's not enough to see it. You've got to live it. And living it means standing firm when the winds blow, when the thorns prick, when the world laughs and says, give up. Because the blueprint isn't a suggestion. It's a command, a call to rise above the dust and into the destiny you were shaped for. Feel that fire kindling? That's not an accident. That's the truth taking root. The lie burning away. You've been told work is your master, but it's not. It's your servant, your tool, your offering. And when you wield it right, it doesn't just change your days, it changes you. The farmer who sows in faith reaps more than grain. The mother who labors in love raises more than children. The worker who toils with honor builds more than walls. They're shaping souls, theirs and others, and so are you. But here's the hard truth, you won't see the whole picture yet. The blueprint's too vast, too grand for your eyes to take in all at once. You'll see glimpses, a harvest here, a thank you there, a quiet knowing that you've done what's right. And that's enough for now, because the one who drew the plan sees it all, and he's not finished with you. Your work is his work if you'll let it be. Your hands are his hands if you'll offer them up. And when you do, the wilderness fades, the thorns retreat, and the garden starts to bloom again. So where do you stand? Are you ready to take that hammer, that pen, that broom, and turn it into something holy? Are you ready to stop running from your labor and start running toward it? Because the blueprint's clear, it's been there all along, written in the stars, sealed in the soil, shouted from the mountains. Work is your calling, your privilege, your bridge from the dust to the divine. And the moment you grasp that, everything changes. The question isn't, why am I working? It's, how will I work today? And the answer lies in your next step, your next breath, your next yes to the one who's calling you higher. That yes is trembling on your lips, isn't it? You've seen the blueprint, felt its fire, heard its call. Work isn't your burden, it's your birthright, a holy charge laid on your shoulders by the one who made you. But knowing it isn't enough. Truth demands action, and the time for standing still is over. You've lingered in the shadows too long, half convinced, half committed, teetering on the edge of something greater. No more. Today you rise. Today you walk, not in defeat, not in drudgery, but in victory. The wilderness is behind you. The blueprint is before you, and the strength to claim it is within you. This is your moment to shake off the dust, lift your head, and step into the life you were born for. Raise your hand, go on, do it. If you're tired of half living, tired of letting your work grind you down instead of build you up, I see you, and that's the spark I've been waiting for. You're not here to limp through your days, bruised and beaten by a world that doesn't care. You're here to conquer them, to turn every task into a triumph, every struggle into a shout of defiance. But victory doesn't fall into your lap. It's forged, it's won, and it starts with a choice right now to see your work as a battlefield and yourself as a warrior, armed not with steel, but with purpose. How do you do it? How do you take that job you've cursed, that labor you've loathed, and make it sing with meaning? Start here, lift your eyes, look beyond the sweat, beyond the clock, beyond the paycheck. See the hands that shaped you, handing you this moment, this task, this calling. The farmer doesn't sow just for today's bread. He sows for a harvest he might never see. The builder doesn't stack stones just for shelter. He builds for a legacy that outlasts him. You're not shoveling dirt or scribbling notes for nothing. You're planting seeds, raising walls, weaving a story that stretches into eternity. That's the first step. See it right, and the rest follows. But seeing isn't enough. You've got to move. Take that next task, the one staring you down tomorrow morning, and meet it head on. Don't slouch into it. Don't drag your feet. Don't mutter under your breath. Stand tall, square your shoulders, and say, this is mine to master. The fisherman didn't wait for the fish to leap into his boat. He cast his net. The shepherd didn't sit while the wolves prowled. He guarded his flock. You've been given work to do, and doing it well isn't just survival. It's rebellion against the lie that you're small, that you're nothing, that your life doesn't matter. Every stroke of your hand, every word from your mouth, every drop of sweat, it's a blow against the chaos, a brick in the wall of victory. What's stopping you? Raise your hand again. Be bold. If you feel that old weight pulling you back, I see you, and I know what it is. It's fear whispering, you'll fail. It's shame hissing, you're not enough. It's weariness groaning, you're too tired. But hear me, those are chains, and they're breaking today. You're not bound by what you've been or what you've done. The one who called you to this fight has already won it, and he's not asking you to be perfect. He's asking you to be faithful. That load you carry, it's lighter than you think when you carry it with him. That fear you feel, it's a shadow that flees when you step into the light. Let me tell you about a woman I heard of, a mother, widowed, left with 3 children and a pile of debts. She scrubbed floors by day, sewed clothes by night, and wept into her pillow when no one saw. But she didn't stop. She looked at those floors, those needles, those long hours, and said, "This is my ground to take." And she took it, one clean tile, one stitched seam at a time, until her children stood tall, her debts were paid, and her spirit shone like gold. She didn't have wealth or power or ease. She had work, and she turned it into victory. You can too. Your battlefield might be a kitchen, a classroom, a factory floor. It doesn't matter. It's yours, and it's holy. But victory isn't just grit. It's grace. You don't win by your strength alone. You win by leaning on the one who never tires, who never fails, who sees every tear and every triumph. Start your day with a cry to him. Give me strength for this. End it with a thank you. You brought me through. That's the rhythm of a conqueror, the heartbeat of a soul that's learned to walk in triumph. The bricklayer I told you about, he didn't just pray with his bricks. He prayed with his breath. Every morning, every night, and his walls stood stronger for it. Yours will too. Now listen, victory doesn't mean the thorns vanish. The world's still broken, the work's still hard, the day's still long. But you're not the same. You're not the wanderer lost in the wilderness, nor the worker crushed by the load. You're the warrior who sees the thorns and says, "I'll cut through." You're the builder who sees the stones and says, "I'll raise them high." You're the sower who sees the dry ground and says, "I'll plant anyway." That's the difference. The fight's not gone, but the fear is. The labor's not light, but the spirit is. You're walking in victory because you know who you are and whose you are. Raise your hand one more time. Do it if you're ready to live that way. I see you and I'm not surprised. That fire's been kindling since we started, hasn't it? It's burning now, and it's yours to carry. So take it into your tomorrow. Take it into that shop, that field, that home. Let it light your hands, your words, your will. When the hours drag, remember the blueprint. When the doubts creep in, recall the call. When the weariness weighs, lean on the strength that's promised. You're not alone in this. Not ever. The one who set you here walks with you, works through you, wins through you. And when you falter, because you will, we all do, don't despair. Victory isn't a straight line. It's a road with bends, with falls, with moments you'll stumble. But you don't stay down. You rise again, dust off your knees, and keep going. The farmer doesn't quit when the rains fail. The soldier doesn't flee when the battle thickens. You don't stop when the load feels heavy, because it's not about the load. It's about the one who carries you through it. That's the secret of the victorious life. Not that you never tire, but that you never surrender. Look ahead now. See that life waiting for you? It's not a dream. It's a promise. A life where work isn't your master, but your mission. Where every day is a chance to build something lasting, to fight something worthy, to live something true. You're not lost anymore. You're not wandering. You're walking straight, strong, unshaken, into the purpose you were made for. And the world will see it. Your family will feel it. Your soul will know it. Because victory isn't loud. It's steady. It's the quiet power of a life lived right. A work done well, a heart turned upward. So rise up, walk on. The wilderness tried to claim you, but it failed. The lie tried to chain you, but it broke. You're free now, free to work, free to win, free to live. And that freedom isn't just for you, it's for the ones watching, the ones waiting, the ones who'll follow your footsteps. Show them what it looks like to turn toil into triumph. Show them what it means to rise from the ashes and walk in victory. Because this isn't the end, it's the beginning. The blueprint's alive, the call's ringing, and the strength's ready. All that's left is you standing tall, moving forward, claiming the ground that's yours. Feel that? That's not just a feeling. That's the truth settling in, the victory taking hold. Tomorrow's coming, and it's not coming to crush you, it's coming to crown you. So lift your head, set your hands, and go meet it. The wilderness is gone. The blueprint is clear. The victory is yours. Walk in it today, tomorrow, forever.